Pikachu had a lot more character though, however. And like there was an anime, so there's a lot of story in the Pokemon franchise that they can draw from to make a film. I think I punched it out too much sand, but that's okay. Cody says, and reasoning like mine with people that actually believe in and care about what I'm saying makes some weird guy with a huge brain obsession go, hey, I'll give my money to make a 3D Sonic. So I feel validated. Alright, more punching. What am I aiming at? That. Oops. Missed a bit, didn't I? Why am I missing that side? What on earth is going on? So those. And those blocks, right. What else are they making? Oh, The Witcher. Aren't they making a TV show out of The Witcher? There was a trailer recently. And people were not impressed by the trailer. Cody says I saw that, alright. Also not impressed. Look, it's hard to be impressed, like live action Witcher, because the game is so fantastic, right? Like, by fantastic I mean it's fantasy based. Cody says, but expect it. Howard says, but it's got Superman as what's his face. I've never played the games. And in fact, like the cutscenes in the Witcher games, it's more stylish and cartoonish, the cutscenes, right, than realistic. There's something like over the top cartoonish about most of the characters in the Witcher. Cody says, I'm extremely looking forward to the $1 billion Lord of the Rings show though. Please don't leave me down. Wait a minute. What $1 billion Lord of the Rings show? What are they doing? The Witcher... Amazon got the Lord IP for a show set in the Second Age. It's got a bigger budget than Game of Thrones. I feel like that's a huge risk to take. Well, it is... When's it coming out? If Trump is still president, then it'll be timely. Because it's about Sauron tricking the Numenorians into betraying their principles and then getting destroyed. Oh, topical! Cody says, fine by me, I love Lord of the Rings, risk it all. Alright, well, it's Amazon. I mean, they got too much money anyway. I mean, instead of paying their workers, why not just make a huge film? That may or may not go well. How's favorite book of Lord of the Rings is Silmarillion. Love that stuff. You know, I haven't read much beyond the actual trilogy. Maybe I should. Cody says he news on it in November 2019 first result. November 2019, okay, it's still topical. Trump is still in power. I am expecting memes. Except Sauron was like apparently really pretty back then and not ugly. Maybe that doesn't work. Cody, Lord of the Rings Online. I started it. I didn't get very far with it. Although, I don't. I'm actually like always resisting getting sucked into an MMO, so probably not the game's fault, probably my fault, one of the game's fault. No, Cody, no. No sucking into MMOs. Oh, I was thinking, actually. You know the Warhammer 40k franchise? It's such a huge universe. I think, have they made an MMO for it or tried to make an MMO? Or maybe not like an MMO, I was thinking. More like a like massively multiplayer war game. I don't know if you really like a strategy game or like a kind of like a MOBA. Yeah, no, I think they have. Maybe it shouldn't be a MMORPG. It should be like an MMO MOBA or MMO strategy. Not sure how that would work. Exactly. But imagine if there's like battlefields and you just have like guys like fighting each other. And it's just a perpetual war across the galaxy. You drop into a battlefield and you just start fighting people. Cody says, I don't think many could say, but I used to watch MMO news daily for like 12 years of my life. See, you got sucked into MMOs, Cody. And look at you now. Cody says there was a non-40k MMO that failed but was really good, just had a lot of server issues which screwed it over. And a 40k MMO in development half as long as Duke Nukem. Look, it's hard to make an MMO. And especially 40k is such a huge universe. I wonder, like, I guess you have to do it like one piece at a time. How was this? I spent an hour or two a month or so back on wiki reading up on Warhammer Universe. Boy, that stuff is dark. I mean, it's that's the whole point of it, Harvard. It's to be dark. Cody says, but it failed, but I think it got bought out and turned into something else and then just died, yeah. I don't think an MMO is right. Imagine if like there's like maybe like a squad-based MOBA where instead of you controlling one guy in a MOBA, you control like a squad of maybe up to a dozen guys. And it's like a MOBA, you have to like fight other teams for objectives. And then each battle in the MOBA affects a wider universe. I'm just gonna invent games right here. Cody says the thing with MMOs is after WoW introduction, most new MMOs that went Korean were based on big IPs. Get people to buy into IPs, same gameplay, repeat. Yeah, I mean that's what investors think would work, but it's not really how things work. Or just like take a step back. Imagine like there's a MOBA. Except that instead of fighting on the same battleground over and over and over again, like the battleground changes depending on a much larger map, and then each win and loss you gain or lose territory on the larger map, and so people just play the each MOBA game, but then it all adds up in a massively multiplayer way. Cody says they need a Final Fantasy MOBA. Can I be the Chocobo? If there's a Final Fantasy MOBA, what would be the skill set of the Chocobo? Just be like running and walking. Speed buffs heals. What if it's out? It's like a really long dance, a really long channeling dance, and then the team have to protect the Chocobo while it dances, and when it finishes, it does a massive attack. How hard would it be to make a mod, Cody? Probably too hard. Can you like mod a game somehow and make that? I mean, like Warcraft and Starcraft you can mod into MOBAs, but then you don't have the Final Fantasy models. Cody says, sure, just give me 5 million, I'll do it at my own pace. No, Cody, you need to do it for the love of the game. You need to be one of these indie developers that don't get paid. And like waste your life because you love video games. That's how real games are made. And like perpetual crunch. I probably shouldn't say that, it's probably gonna trigger some people. Perpetual crunch! I mean, the thing with Warhammer is a huge universe, and there's no game where it's actually a huge universe. Maybe Total War Warhammer. It's not a huge universe. It's a kind of biggish, but I'm just talking about like the scale of the games versus the scale of the setting. Cody says Vermintide is the only good Warhammer. I mean, but Vermintide takes place in one city, doesn't it? What if Vermintide was bigger? what does Vermintide take place in? It's world killing? What if Vermintide had like a cooperative, massively multiplayer elements where each game you play, you're actually like holding off the rat guys. Zombie apocalypse of Warhammer, basically nothing but death, which is why I love it. Yeah, no, but the game, like the stuff you play. I'm not talking about like the lore. In terms of like how much of the world do you interact with in the game. Cody says the Vermintide game is coming out with a randomizer basically where each ending has a different outcome. Okay. That'd be cool. And I mean, I guess the idea is you're supposed to hold back the end for as long as possible, right? Cody says, because I've beaten it all, I need fresh... Wait, you've unlocked... You've 100%ed Vermintide? B equals the other letter, right? No, Hava is Hava. We don't talk about Hava's other names. Anyway, yes. The answer is yes. But we don't talk about it. Cody says achievement wise, nah, it's too grindy, but actually beating it all. See, I guess what I mean is, imagine if there was like an extended endgame, which is probably also what you're talking about, Cody. Like an extended endgame where you continue grinding, but the grinding kind of makes a difference to the larger story. Alright, that's... Cody says, yeah, so it'll make the final showdown change around once this thing is out. So far static. And you can imagine like a Warhammer game. Imagine like it's like StarCraft, except instead of just like fighting random isolated battles, like your wins and losses actually claims or loses territory for your faction, and you're fighting other factions